Hi, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Liv. Today I have a special guest, my first male guest. Will you introduce yourself?
My name is Prince. At least that's the name that I go by. And I'm just excited to hear what this show's got in store for us.
I've not seen you in
It's been a few years, isn't it?
like 3 years.
Whenever it was after we finished setting up the society,
Then yeah, that's 2
I
years.
think. Was that 2 years?
Yeah. So me and Prince met at uni, and we ran a society together, the East African Society at Coventry. So he's an opinionated person. For today's episode of the Unwritten Rules of a Relationship, I think we'll have some interesting points. So I'm going to read out what people put on Instagram. So I put a poll thingy question thing, and people kind of put what they think are the unwritten rules of a relationship. So I'm just going to read them out. It's like 12 of them. And then, yeah.
All right,
We'll go from there. So the first one is, this is from a girl actually. They were like, I'm your only best friend, F your female best friend. What do you think about that?
So your girl is your only best friend / only female best friend.
Yeah. So, yeah, like they don't, she basically doesn't want you to have like a female best friend apart from her.
Oh, no, do you know what? I agree with that. But no, okay, I do agree with that in pretty much every aspect. Like, I don't really see. I can see why when, like, let's say males have had female friends in the past or whatever, blah blah blah. But then, if you're getting into a relationship with a woman, you're gonna basically try and encompass every part of your life with her. So, what other reason would you technically have to have another woman as your best friend when you have a whole person that should technically be your lifetime partner?
No, I get that. And I'm personally not like a female best friend person, but just to play devil's advocate, what if they were there for like 10 years before your wife came along or your girlfriend came along?
There ain't no problem. They were there for 10 years. That was their time period.
Oh, God.
I can't lie. Because do you know what it is? Yeah? And even like in almost every scenario that I've seen, it's like all the female friends that most guys have had, there comes a certain level of like, it should be like a level of respect, but there's like, it's almost like invisible boundaries just pop up. And the same thing goes for like guys that have had women as like their close friends, and then the woman gets into like a relationship. The guy knows, unless he's just one of them guys that just don't care. He's
you
like,
get it?
I should be there. You know, like, I've been there for all these years. Yeah, but you're not her man, so.
But this is what I'm trying to say, like, you would assume, and it's good that you said that, like, there's boundaries, but not everybody has those boundaries. So some girls and some boys, if they have like partners or best friends, that are opposite sex, they may have alternative, like, ulterior, like, motives. So you'd think when they get a girlfriend, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna like chill and like push back a bit, but they don't.
Yeah, that's toxic, man. Even that friendship right there, you start, because I've seen it so many times. Like, a girl will come and be like, not even a girl, like a lot of girls, they'll be like, oh, this guy got into a relationship and we just don't see him no more. And then I have to explain to them, like, what do you think you're going to give him that his girl technically wouldn't be giving him more of?
But this is the thing, half the time, and it's really bad of me to say, but when it comes to friendships that are like girls and boys, unless like it's just been platonic from the start, sometimes they like each other, or one person likes the other person, and they're waiting for that time. So now when you're saying, oh, why we don't see him anymore, maybe she wanted him, but he didn't want her back, or maybe she didn't say anything. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Like, there's I know a lot who are like, oh, their male friends would try it with them if they had the opportunity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I feel like everyone should be friends, but in a world where attraction is possible.
Do you know what's funny? Yeah. If you ask most guys why would they why if they have female friends or whatever, a lot of them will tell you, yeah, I've got some female friends here, there, whatever. But if you were to ask them on a daily basis, like, how often would you go out of your way to chill with a lot of your female friends? Most of them wouldn't really be as inclined per se, unless there's like, oh, we're gonna go and do something together. Like, we've planned to go somewhere, do something,
like,
but
I want to come to your house and like,
just chill. Like, a lot of guys don't really do that.
You
like,
think so?
Yeah,
I think
unless
like
they've got
they've
got ulterior.
no, like, okay, so if we went to school together, like not uni but like primary school, for instance, primary, do you not think we could chill in the same house?
as you go, because I think it comes in stages, innit? So when you're primary school, for example, you don't think about it, or you don't care. You just want to play. That's it. Doesn't matter who.
You think so?
You would think so. You would think so. I think it depends on how corrupted the child is, innit? But generally speaking, kids just want to play. Then as you get to that secondary school, obviously then certain things start to get explored. Some people's innocence get broken a bit earlier and things like that. So then you have to start like leveling down and showing them, like, understand that, yo, that's a girl, you're a guy. Things just are gonna work differently from now. Like you're going through different stages of your life. Mm-hmm. And then let's say once you get to uni, you've seen at uni, innit? Like for the most part, no one's really going out of their way to just make friends like with random women. Like most of the guys that you've probably met probably moved to you or tried to move to you in some instant, and then just it collapsed.
I get that.
In most instances,
yeah. I get that.
And it's the same, like, I won't say for me, for example, like let's say there were girls that I did move to, and then it wasn't going anywhere. I just said, you know what, I'm never going to waste my time in it. I'm just going to mind my own business. I'll try and move to someone else. But if I started seeing them here and there, it's like, of course I know who they are. And obviously I'm not interested in them no more, even if the interest was there to begin with. But it's not there anymore. So like...
Yeah, I feel like if you had like a I think brief, like, interest in somebody... If you don't go any deeper, like, it can really be dissipated like really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I did, but like,
I mean, it will dissipate, and then in a lot of cases, for most guys, it will dissipate and they won't show the interest and they won't care no more. Really. But if the girl decides, oh, I think I might be interested, then he might actually say, do you know what, let me pursue it, because I was interested before, but it is what it is. So that's how a lot of friendships are kind of maintained. But I think I've come to find that a lot of females, either they remain ignorant to that aspect, or they just choose, they see it and say, okay, do you know what, I know he likes me, but I don't really want to be friends with him. So I don't want to go there with him, so it's just a friendly thing.
It, like,
I've seen those. Ooh, I've seen those.
Suddenly you're a cab driver.
Oh yeah.
You're buying Chinese.
You just saw me in my car as well. Like, did you even know I had one? You didn't even know?
No, I didn't. How would I know?
That's the funny thing. Do you know, it's weird because I've had it for like about 2 years, innit? And I remember when I got the car, I was like, okay, my first objective, obviously my boys knew, but like there was only a handful of them that knew. I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone I got a car. Not because I don't really want to like show people that I've got the car. Like, I don't want to come off as boastful, but also I know that, let's say for example, I've got a car and people just pop up with random situations. Oh, I'm drunk, can you give me a lift home? Yeah. It's not that I don't want to do it.
Yeah, but people take the piss.
Yeah. Like, why are you calling me? Like, you don't have a cab, you can't get a cab or Uber
but it's more like because they think they can try it with you. Do you get what I mean? Like, sometimes people, as humans, we just try our luck and see what we can get. So if a girl or if any of your friends actually knew you were driving, like, oh right, like, let's just call Prince to see what he like.
Nah, I remember one time I must have swung by like a party to pick up technically my ex in it. So I went to pick her up from this party, whatever, and I was in a rush anyway. I needed to go someplace. She's like, bored. I don't want to be here. Can you just pick me up, drop me home? I was like, yeah, no problem. So I pull up there, and then the thing is, I'd gone into an accident a few months before that, so it wasn't my fault. I just need to put it out there. I'm a good driver. It wasn't my fault, innit? Like, someone hit my car, and I just had to claim in it. So I had a rental car, so obviously it was a bit more. It was nicer. It was like an SUV kind of type car, or whatever. So obviously I knew pulling up, I was like, oh, I'm gonna see loads of people. A lot of them don't even know I drive. I'm going to pull up with a car. I don't want anyone to ask me for a lift because I just don't want to say no to their face. That's all I do. I just didn't want to say no because I knew I was going to say no anyway. So anyway, she came to the car and then she went back because she saw her friend. She's like, hi, da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like to her, yo, like, I need to go in it. She's like, okay, cool. So she jumps in the car. And then she was like, oh, did this person come and speak to you? I said, no, why? I knew the person, like, we're good friends. We'd been friends for a long time. I was like, no, why? And she was like, oh, because she was asking me if I can ask you for a lift, to give them a lift. And then I just told her, like, go ask him yourself. You know him, he's your friend, isn't he? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, if she wanted the lift, she could have just asked me. I would have probably said no anyway. But
better than her asking your girlfriend.
Yeah, like, just ask me, like, regardless of whether you know her or not, you know me too, like. And
regardless, you're the one that'll be driving,
and I'm the one that's driving. Exactly.
You're the one that'll be doing the favor. So exactly. It's like, how do you ask someone else? Like that's what, like when you're a child, you ask, oh, go ask mommy to do this. Like you're a child.
And do you know what the funny thing is, yeah? And this even comes back to that aspect of the friendship as well. It's not like I don't know. I knew this girl for like a good 3 years, even before I met my ex. Anyway, like I knew her.
Loki and she thinks it's cheeky because at the end of the day, before she knew that you're picking up your girlfriend, she knew how she's gonna get home. No, like she just said. So she was thinking, oh, I'm gonna get home this way, but let me try and like. Maybe save some money and get do you understand? So when you know you're doing something a bit wrong, you don't want to really do it. So she kind of tried to swing it by
someone else, third party. No, we have comprehensive here. No third party, man. It's all inclusive.
But anyway, the next one is any embarrassment that they know that I don't know. So I think this was a guy that wrote this, but like. I think this was very important for me as well, but like if there's something that would be embarrassing and my boyfriend didn't tell me and I found out by someone else, nah, I can't do that.
Well, that's a deal breaker.
It's not a deal breaker, but I think it's annoying because like, say for example, you came and told me something about my man. How are you telling me something about my man that my man didn't tell me? Like, it doesn't add up to me. Because then I might act surprised, like, what? And you're like, wait, you didn't know? And then it's bad, but it's like there's a perception that, okay, then what's going on with these two? Can't they get their stuff together? How do I know something about her man but she doesn't know and I'm telling her myself? Like I think it's a bit.
Do you know what? Sometimes I think there's like a way that people go about this, innit? So like even me for example, I'm not someone that will go out of my way to just open up and say everything, regardless of who it is. Even if I have a lifelong partner, I don't really, unless it gets to a point where it's been like a couple of years and no matter what, I'll just say whatever it is and that's it and put it out there. But sometimes you might feel like you don't want to tell your partner something just because you know it may be embarrassing, but also you don't want them to look at you that way. It's not so much that you don't want to tell them.
But that's not, I don't think things like that, like if it's something to do with you personally, I think things it's more a case where it's not that deep. So why didn't you say? I kind of find like when people don't say things that are a bit lighthearted or a bit just like throwaway things, I don't really get that. Like I don't really get those kind of lies. I don't really get those kind of secrets. Like if I ask you now what colour is your car and you're like, oh, it's blue, when it's not blue, like I'll be like, why are you lying for? I don't. Do you understand? Something serious. Like okay, cool. But I like those ones like this.
Yeah, I understand. I think the you'd probably want to ask some more, like, not maybe because obviously you're gonna want to know like why didn't you tell me in the first place? Yeah. But I think the main question that you'd be asking is why would this other person know instead of me? And I think even more so, I think it even plays in terms of gender. I think it plays a lot as well because I feel like with guys they'll speak a lot more with their guys about certain issues that they may be facing in a relationship. They need some advice or whatever, and they don't want to go head first to their partner because they don't want to get the wrong answer or whatever in it. So they'll tell their guys what they're going through. So maybe the guys might know, but you wouldn't expect your guys to go and now be rambling on.
But this is the thing. Remember we spoke about that your partner being your best friend.
Yeah.
Why are you telling your boys something before you're telling me? I get it. Your boys were there before me, and I don't think everything should be told to your partner. I feel like something should be kept like. How do I put it? Like. Sometimes when people get in relationships, they kind of put everything into their partner and they don't kind of balance out their friendship. So they're putting all they're confiding in that one person. It can be really stressful. So I do think you should share. But I think if it comes to things that maybe the girl can talk to him about, I don't see why he wouldn't.
Do you know what? I don't know, man. Because I feel like sometimes when you speak to someone that's not your partner, sometimes it gives you a bit of like a venting space. Because you're not going to you're not expecting backlash, for example. That's true. Or if you do get, or if you get the backlash, that means you must have done something wrong, kind of thing.
But I think that's why this is the whole embarrassment thing. It's not because they did something right. It's because they did something that maybe they knew would annoy their partner. So that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I can be a very forgiving person as long as you just tell me. Yeah. So if you don't tell me now, it's a bit like, okay, cool. So you didn't tell me, you're withholding information, and then you went to tell somebody else. Nah.
Yeah, I can understand. But I think, do you know what? I think in a lot of cases that can be forgivable. Like, if it's not something that's reoccurring.
Yeah, but then I think it kind of goes into your character. Like, someone that's a liar, it's not because they lie that's bad. It's just your character. Like, something about you, like, why did you feel the need to do it? Do you understand what I mean? Like, so if you do it the first time, fine. But it's like, even then I'll be like, it's a bit off.
Yeah.
Because I get we should be forgiving, but there's just certain flags you shouldn't really leave. Like, if someone's away, they're away. Don't twist it and be like, oh, maybe it was because this, because that. Sometimes that's just how they are.
Understand, but in order to sometimes know whether that's how they are, it takes a minute. Like you might have to reassess and see it actually happen a few times before you decide, okay, nah, this is definitely.
But then it's that fine line between a few times and you're suddenly in a relationship for 3 years when you know you should have left in the first year.
True. I guess it's just down to the individual to figure out how many times they're willing to, I say, put up with that kind of behavior, innit? But you never know though, because on the same instance where, let's say they feel like that person's done something that's embarrassing, in most cases, a lot of times things are embarrassing and maybe you find out from someone else or whatever, but a lot of times you might do something embarrassing and then you go and tell your partner and then your partner says, okay, no, that's a mad thing, that is embarrassing, don't do that again. And then sometimes you'll do that and then someone will come that knows about what maybe your partner's done. They will come and they will tell you, oh, you know your partner done this. And the first question is, why are you telling me? Like I already know this stuff, innit?
Yeah.
And that's something I encountered a lot of. Like, it's not like I was out there like displaying myself or putting myself out there like, yeah, you know, this is me and this girl and we're together. I was like, because I remember saying, look, people are always just going to be invested in other people's business. For whatever reason, I don't know why. That's just how people are, innit? So we do our thing and just keep it as civil as possible and try and keep it moving in the right steps, etc., etc. But people will find out eventually, regardless.
Yeah, you're not hiding, but you're not there.
But
like,
you're not trying to throw it to people's face so that they can be.
Because genuinely, like you're saying, like it'll be. Even if they don't want, some people just don't have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
And it'll come out subconsciously. Yeah. So what you're saying about how people will come and tell you things or whatever, you wonder like
so why are you telling me like
why? And it's like, I thought we were meant to be friends.
And it might not even be. It's not even like oh, you know, I saw this person with another girl walking up and down the street. He was doing the madness. No, it's like, oh, I saw him talking to someone in the shop. So, but the man, he went home and told this girl, oh yeah, I saw this, you know, this person at the shop, and I was asking him about this and that, and I think it might be something useful for you. She's like, oh yeah, thank you very much. So when she goes, I saw him talking to someone at the shop. She's like, yeah, what's the problem? Like what seems to be the big issue kind of thing? And
you add the extra spice to try and make things seem more interesting. Anyway, in this year, I don't think anyone will ever learn to mind their business, but I really hope and I pray, because the older that we get, it's necessary. Nah,
there's one thing I've definitely learned from a lot of like my friends, because like, a lot of my friends have gone off and got married, for example, and because they, like, I'm talking about my boys, and I don't really know any girls that have gone and got married, but a lot of my boys have gone and got married, and I still have a very good relationship with all of them. But I only speak to them about them and their kids, because I don't know nothing about their wives, and I have no reason to know anything about their wives. Even if let's say one of my boys is getting married soon, and I know his girl as well. Like, we've all like had a long relationship as like friendship groups and stuff like that together. So I know his girl as well. I know him as well. Obviously he's my boy, so I know him a lot better, innit? But it's like, even throughout his whole relationship of me even knowing his girl as well, there's never been any reason for me to try and shout her for anything, unless it's like to do with him, for example. Yeah. Or if he says, yo, I've lost this, can you ask her for... And I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. So then I'll message her. So she's never going to expect a message from me unless it's something that's quite serious.
If you're saying that that's your boy, then you've established now that that's like your friend. Yeah. And she's like a friend after your friend to him. Because sometimes
as bad as that sounds to a certain extent, but yes,
it's not bad. It's not bad, because I think sometimes when people are like, oh, we're all friends, though, they don't know where their loyalties lie. But you have a clear loyalty, and she will get it and he will get it. So if something happens, she knows, cool, we're cool, but
there's certain exactly. So yeah, that definitely does play a big role as well. So I think when it comes to like who you kind of speak to as well, regardless of whether it's something embarrassing or whatever, I think sometimes when what people should actually realize is that there's only a certain amount of people you should try and limit 100%. Who you tell things to. Otherwise, 100%. Things always blow out of proportion. Always. Always.
This next one is not that serious, but they said putting the toilet seat down. You know, maybe it's serious. Maybe I've just not lived with someone to know that it's that serious. I don't think it's annoying.
Did you ever live in shared accommodation?
Not to share a bathroom, no. And if I did, I only shared with one girl. So it was always down.
Yeah, so it was always down. I mean, where I'm living now, like, because obviously I share with one guy in it, so generally the bathroom's clean, but sometimes the seat's up, sometimes it's down, and I get it.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes it's up, sometimes
But
it's
like,
down.
what's the annoyance? Like, I don't get the. Just put it down.
Okay, now do you know what? Maybe I think was it a girl that wrote that?
No, it's a guy.
It was a guy,
Yeah.
and he said when he finds the seat up.
No, like he says, put like an unwritten rule of the relationship is to put the toilet seat down.
Is his girl putting the seat up?
No, I think maybe his girl don't like it. I'm assuming because I hear a lot of girls complain about it, but I don't really get
About not putting the seat down.
Yeah, like, oh my god, why are you leaving it up? I feel like that's in films. I just thought it was something the Americans did.
Okay, do you know what? I think it really depends on the hygiene of a person, innit? Sometimes when guys are lazy, they'll lift the seat because they don't want to pee on the seat. Because obviously that means they'll probably have to clean it if they want to sit down on it, etc. And a lot of guys... No, but you know what? It depends on the culture, innit? A lot of guys in this culture, they don't pee, like, sitting down. They stand and do it. A lot of them, they stand and do it. Like, you go anywhere. Like, if you go to a normal service station... You'll see about like 20 cubicles all for standing, and then maybe 10 for sitting. So no one really goes into the sitting ones. You'll never catch me on the standing ones though, because that's just disgusting.
I'm dead.
But yeah, I think that's just like it's like a pet peeve.
I don't know.
It's just a pet peeve. I guess if it's something that if it's so constant and the person just refuses to change, it's like I might not break up with the person for something like that. I'll probably just get a house with 2 bathrooms.
I'm dead.
I'll say, yo, that's yours. You're not using my bathroom. Leave it.
Okay, the next one was learn each other's love languages and try and build the way you love them around that. I agree. I do think love languages is important. I think that's where a lot of misunderstanding comes from, because like, I'm giving you love, I'm showing you love, but that's just not how a partner wants to be loved. That's how you are showing it, but that's not what you want. So yeah, until you learn that, I don't think they already feel like appreciated and loved by you.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I say yes because when you have plenty of time on your hands, of course you show that love language. Like, do you know what? I'm basing this. No, because I'm basing this off two aspects here. I'm basing it off of people at uni, because that's pretty much what I've known for the past few years. And then living your life as an active working individual,
I get that,
etc.
but it's not time. It's not time consuming. If you like to be given gifts, and I show you love by words of affirmation, I'm wasting my time more by not just giving you the gifts that you'd rather than me giving you words of affirmation. Do you get it?
True, but then how would that make you feel, for example?
It's not about me. If I'm
No, I get that.
No,
but
it's not about me. Like, I think this is where it's like love is not about you. It's about the person you're trying to love. It's a selfless act. It's now then when you're getting returned to you, you're feeling the love and you have your own innate love. But if I'm loving somebody, how I'm doing it has nothing to do with me. It's really just to make them feel fulfilled. Do you get it? Like, it's not to do.
I get that, but I don't know, because I feel like a lot of people, even though they will say that they love their partner and they will do anything, they say they'll do anything for their partner, but they will say that anyway. But like, they'll also come and say, I've done this for her, I've done that for her, I've done this, I've done that. And it's like, yeah, sure, you need to show her actually what she wants. But sometimes it just may not click for that individual per se, because that's just maybe not their type.
And then that's where compatibility comes in. And if you're not compatible with that person, you got to leave it off. Because even men will be like, oh, I like, let's say they like home cooked food, and their girl can't cook for shit. Like, she just doesn't know how to cook. Where's it going to go? And she's not willing to learn.
Yeah, find a new one.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So same way if a girl is feeling like, oh, the guy's not loving me the way I want to be loved, and she's telling him, and it's not working out, you're not compatible. And it sounds bad, but I feel like it doesn't take a long time to really get to know someone's like their morals, what they stand for, how they are as a person. And if you get to know that bit and you know it's not aligning with you, go. Like, I think people waste time when you don't need to. Like, there's not a shortage of men or women out here.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go through all them questions before I get to what I want to say about that, because I think there's a big difference between just being with someone and actually committing. I think there's a massive difference. Yeah, and
I think I get where it is, but I feel like you it's good to commit, and I think it's necessary, because I don't think fleeting relationships are like, they don't produce anything. But it's just where you're putting your time. Do you understand what I mean? I think sometimes we go a lot. Obviously, I can only speak for us, like as like in our 20s and stuff. You know, you look at someone, they're attractive, and that's important.
Yeah.
but then you have to go past that and not just be like, oh, I like how they look or I like how I feel in that moment, because you could be confusing. Are you confusing it with lust? Are you confusing it with just how they make you feel that time? When, like, there's a lot that goes into it that I don't think a lot of people would really take time to really deep before they do it.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think because I'm on a complete different spectrum. Like, I don't. Number one, I've never really believed in relationships anyway, per se, like, because I've always tended to see it as like you get with someone and then you try and make things work, and then if you feel like it's been working for a while, okay, what about marriage? Okay, then let's give it a shot. And then you try that, but you're treating the marriage aspect completely different to what the relationship was, which is weird.
It's weird because
I'm just like,
it's a
relationship. I'm like, bro, you've been with this person for 7 years, and now you get married, and now things are changing.
No,
what's changing now? Why should it change anything?
Like,
all you're doing is technically just signing a contract.
Signing, and if you're religious, in the eyes of God, you're committing to that person. That's literally what marriage is. Other than that, it's not a case of it changes. Like, and I think that's what you're saying is it's a good point. Like, it's an issue. You can't change suddenly when you get a ring. Like, this
is my point. So even for me, it's like a relationship between most people that I've seen is like, look, if you're trying to get with this person, it shouldn't really last that long before you decide. Because most guys, I don't think a guy would generally know if he likes a girl or not within a couple months. He'll know that I do like this girl. Would you want to marry her? Some of them might say yeah, sure, or some might say I might put it off a little bit because I'm not too convinced yet by not by what he's seen, but where he himself lies in it. Because in most cases, if a guy knows what he wants, then it'll be really easy. If a girl knows what she wants, it'll be a lot more easier. But if they don't know what they want and they're just trying to sort through the pack, you're going to be with one person for 3 months, then that's not working. So then you end up with someone else for a couple months.
But this is the thing, it's like, I think a lot of it comes into like your circumstances, because a lot of marriage normally occurs when a man is ready, when he feels he's done his work, he's ready to provide and make, be there for his family. So there's that. If he's not in a place where he can provide in the way he wants to, and that's different to all men, he won't get married to.
I don't think so. I don't necessarily think so. Because if you look back in let's say if you look back in across all different cultures, people are getting married with basically nothing.
But I'm saying that's what he thinks is okay though.
No.
I'm saying it's subjective. It'll be that to him. But I think a lot of people now, like men will be like, okay, we're gonna get married. Let's say 27, 28. They've got their house, they've got their car, they've got their career. Then they're ready. Some don't mind. Some will rather build. But the majority are like, okay, cool, I'll marry somebody once I've established myself and I'm comfortable. Because reality is like, they're not really going to get married and go back home to their parents' house. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there's that.
I understand that. I think what I mean when I say like, if a guy knows, so even that level of saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be comfortable, I'll have my house and my car and a good job at least to be able to provide for a woman, then okay, cool. That's the mindset of most guys in general, because they want to be able to feel like, okay, I can be able to put something there for when I have a family. But in most cases, if the guy feels like he has a plan that can work, number one, I don't even see how a marriage would stop a person from essentially being able to make money. The way I see it, generally, it should be able to. It should be able to like strengthen them.
People are different, and that's the thing. It's the difference in personality, different upbringings that will stop you. Suddenly, let's say I get married now, and I'm trying to build myself and my career, and then my husband's like, he wants us to have a child. I've married this man. I need to compromise, and I have this child. That will stop me.
No, absolutely.
Different. There's lots of examples, but that's a main one.
No, absolutely. But what would be the difference between getting a relationship with a person and then ending up with a child, or being married and having a child? Technically, because I know
one is planned, one is not planned.
Yeah, but you can plan either way, can't you? You could essentially plan.
Yeah, but I think what is that? There's more of not an expectation. That's not the right word. It's like you're obligated, kind of, to see. To not just make decisions by yourself. You have to put someone else into it. Not gonna lie, a boyfriend is not going to really impact my plans too tough the way that our husband would, because of it's the same relationship. Cool, I get it, but it's a different commitment level.
Exactly. Do you know what? I think there has to be a massive shake-up in the education systems in terms of what to actually expect from life. Because I think most people they're not given that opportunity. So
no, I don't think there should be any kind of education.
You think?
I think you should just get it as it goes. I feel like life is best when you learn on the job.
Do you know what I call this?
What?
Western privilege.
Why?
This is pure privilege.
No.
Because I swear in other societies, yeah, when people get to a certain age, they say, look, you lot should get married and sort your lives out, and then you'll be fine or whatever, blah blah. And fair enough, they may not have a lot of opportunities or a lot of money, or in those scenarios, like it's just easier. Let them get married, and then they'll have their own families and responsibilities to take care of. But here, because you have so much of an opportunity to do well for yourself, men can go off and work until they're 40. Women can go off and work by themselves and be all single, independent, etc., etc. So it literally pushes the aspect of even having a family just further back and back.
Yeah, I get that, and I do agree with you. Like, I feel like if I was in Uganda and I wasn't here, I wouldn't be. My mindset in terms of a family and relationships would not be the same way it is now. I feel like I'd be more inclined to be more maybe family oriented. I don't know than now, but I what I do appreciate about the Western privilege, as you like to call it, is I think the importance of just sometimes just being for yourself and doing for yourself. Because when you get married now, sometimes you can be very tunnel vision for some people. That's all they know. That's all they have. And then when it crumbles, or if their kids grow up and they move out and stuff, they don't have a purpose because they've just focused their lives on their family. Yeah. So I just think there's pros and cons to each thing, but I can only do.
I guess it depends on what the priority, on what your focus in life kind of is. Because I think when you're younger, you're more focused. They say when you're younger, you have no money, but you got time and energy. Then when you're in that middle age, you're not young no more, but you got energy, but you ain't got time, and you might have a bit of money. And then when you're older, you got time, you got money, and no energy. So it's
you
like
just got to live it day by day. To get old and then have all this money, not know what to do with it, I'll be pissed.
I can't lie. I'd rather, At least let me get old and know that I got not loads of kids, but let me at least grow old and know that I got family everywhere, whatever. And I got money and maybe not so much energy. Fair enough, but life might not be that boring.
You can do that. Like if you start exercising now, you have the energy. I think this is what we're not really getting now. People exercise a lot for aesthetics, but just exercise in general can just impact your body in the long run. But again, it's a tangent. Another unwritten rule someone said is to like each other. Sex is great, love is great, but all of that can fizzle out if you don't actually like each other.
I mean, what would you be getting with the person for in the first place?
Do you know the line between love and hate is very thin. You can love somebody or what you think or whatever is love to you. I'm not going to denounce someone's version of love. But they think that person is arrogant, they think that person is narcissistic, they think that person has a bad attitude. And they don't really get along. Like, have you ever heard of people that are together for time, but they don't actually talk? Yeah. They're just there. So
they're just there, just literally breezing around each other.
No, I can't.
I mean, you have to. I don't know, like.
It sounds mad to you, but it's real. Like,
no, I get. Like, I fully, like, bruv. Even there's for example, there's like a person that I work with, and she says like she's been with her partner for 8 years, but maybe he don't hate her, but she basically hates him. Like, she don't like him. She's just, and the thing is, they've got a kid together as well.
You see,
so it's like. So that's she basically has to be there for a certain amount of time, and then before she can try and there's a whole load of problems in that kind of triangular relationship she has. But it's like, I said to her, like, what, did you not like him when you first got with him, kind of thing? She was like, I was young, I was just having fun, And I was like, yeah, but like, what, do you not actually assess people when you kind of, before you even get with them as well?
Listen, when you're preoccupying you guys' time with, I don't know, dates, and you're just looking at each other in each other's eyes, that person as they are, like, you won't really know. I think that's why I feel like sometimes you need to kind of take time with relationships, because I might know you in a situation where you're a uni student, but I don't know how you are when you manage your money. I don't know how you are in an accident. I don't know how you are with death. Like, and it's those type of situations or life experiences that will show you who that person is and if you like them or not. Yeah. They probably got together, had this kid, and before she knew it, she's really seen the real him. Do you get it? Or he was always being himself, or she wasn't really seeing it like that. Maybe they weren't living together, stuff like that. So it's sad, but
there's one because I speak to a lot of guys at work, innit? Like where I work, it's kind of like a factory. There's just loads of all nationalities, all ages and stuff like that. So whenever it comes to that topic of marriage, I always ask like all these older men that are married and stuff. So I must have asked one guy like, yo, like if I'm trying to get married, what should I be looking for in a woman? And then he goes, I'll tell you one thing, before you try and get married to her, try your best to see how she reacts when she's angry. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, trust me, because if you say you are out here to get married, in most cases, the girls that want to get married, they will say and do whatever you want because they're trying to get married. Once you're married, then they're gonna flip, and then their real side will start coming out. Then they're gonna start, and that's when you have to be firm and like be like, nah, like this is what I said before. But because it's a woman, you can't be physical with them. And then if you're verbal to a certain extent, it can just backfire against you as well. So it's like you have to be careful. So try and see how they react when they're angry. And I thought about it, and I was like, do you know what? Obviously, I don't think I'm gonna do anything to try and make a woman
like
angry.
provoke them.
Yeah, exactly. But it makes a lot of sense because you do want to see those kind of sides within the person as well. Because some people, they get angry and like they say, you know what, let me just be patient. It's calm and calm. And then some people get angry and start throwing stuff. And it's like, I just bought this chair.
Someone wants to argue, the other person doesn't want to argue, or one is shouting, the other person not shouting. It's different, but
I don't shout, man.
Nah,
I mean, I do. It will get to a point like I could, but like, nah, I can't be bothered, man. Like, look, you really want to argue, like, really, like, I don't have time for that, man. I'd be like, I'm the type of person to like, look, it seems like we're both getting a bit mad. I'm gonna take a walk. I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, man. Like, bruv, obviously we're getting over our heads now. Like, what do you mean? Like, why are we both shouting? We can't hear each other. So I'm gonna take a walk. You can relax for a bit. When I come back, I'll be calm. You might still be mad, but that's fine, innit? Because I'm not gonna try and get mad again. And then when you're calm and you're ready to talk, we'll talk it out. Until then. But I think it depends. It's just different, innit? Because if you're trying to commit to someone, you're most likely gonna see all these things anyway.
Like, it could be something small that can cause an argument, or just in general, like life in general. You can get mad at anything. Like, it could be anything.
And you know what? Even if you look in like usually if you look in your own households or whatever, like if you I don't know if you've been raised with siblings or whatnot. I've got siblings, and they'll just do something. Just it's like it's minor, but it gets you so mad. It's like, why did you leave the crisp on the stairs?
It's not even that. My one is when, like, if someone leaves like juice and it's like there's not much for a glass, but you put the juice back in the fridge. Why did you do this? Just finish the drink.
There's not much in the glass.
Like,
they drank it from the carton.
No. Like, say, like, it's a full bottle,
yeah,
and we've all been drinking blah blah blah, and now it's one glass left, and they've taken just enough, but they've left like a drop.
A little bit.
Finish it.
Oh yeah.
Just finish it.
These are things that you find ways to cope and deal with it.
But then suddenly you're arguing. And you're like, wait, we're arguing over juice.
Yeah,
so that's what happened in a relationship.
Yeah, and it's personal. It gets like that because even like you think about it, the person you're gonna be with, they have to they basically replace your siblings. They replace your parents in a lot of aspects as well, because you're gonna start getting all sorts of telling offs from them. Like, you get told off from your parents, and it's like, no, but really and truly, if you deep it, your partner, like, a girl will be like, nah, you put the toothbrush in this and that. Oh, you left the plate next to the sink instead of putting it in the sink.
That's your new
and it's like, literally, exactly. So now you're getting nagged. Like, the guy is nagging or the girl is nagging. And then, so now they turn into your parents. Then they might even turn into like your uncles and aunties just giving you gifts all the time. And it's like, how have you just accumulated into all the family members that I have
in
plus
one
more in one person?
And we're not going to argue. Like, you're going to.
Bruv, of course you are. Of course you are, but how you handle the situation determines basically how your relationship goes, innit? Yeah. So it's just one of them ones. But
no, the next one is honesty. I think that's just standard, like a given. I don't think anyone would be like, no, I don't want an honest boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah, honesty is a real one. Like, some people, like, I think they struggle with honesty a lot. Actually, not even some people. A lot of people struggle with honesty. But I think it mostly boils down to what kind of vision that they have to begin with. If they're not just generally sneaky people, because sometimes you might have an idea of what you want to go about with something, and then you start to clock that I don't think my partner's really like that. You can see it. So rather than just telling them like, oh yo, this is it, because in most cases you might not actually want to break up the relationship because you still actually like this person, but you can see that the values are a bit different, which I guess in hindsight it might turn out to be a toxic environment. But sometimes, like you said, you might just love a person despite all these other random things, and you still just love them. You want to be there with them as well. So I think sometimes when you want to go about doing certain things, it's like, should I tell them? it might just get them mad. I don't know how. I don't really want them to react this kind of way as well.
That's what I'm gonna say. I think honesty is hard because people don't like the reactions. People lie because they don't want to make someone upset, or they don't want to deal with having to talk about what they are gonna tell them.
Yeah.
Rather than the lie itself, or just withholding what you're saying. What you're saying, I think, is like, yeah, you don't want them to maybe like derail you from your plan, or like not be. But again, what you're saying kind of sounds like your partner's a hater. Like, why would you be with someone that's a hater?
It's not so much hating. It's like they're just probably just have
vibes.
A different mindset. Or
No, that's bad vibes. Man.
You think that's bad vibes?
Yeah, like I feel like if you wanted to do something, and your girl was just like not for it, even if it has nothing to, like, I will support a man through most things. I think I'm not gonna say everything. I think there's some things that
if you don't believe in it.
That's what I'm trying to say. So there's certain things, if I don't believe in it, I wouldn't support it.
Yeah.
Like if he wanted to go and, I don't know, just do something that was just going to be really maybe harmful, or just didn't add up to his character, I'll be like, are you going through something? Like, let's think about this first. But the other stuff, I'll support it because it's not my life. As much as I'm your girl, what you do is you, and you should do something for yourself to make you happy. Because I don't want the same thing for me. Even if it has nothing to do with you, like, you don't get it, you don't understand it, just support it just because it's for me. Do you understand? Yeah.
So, I was speaking to my cousin about this, yeah. My cousin, and he's married to his wife, so I was speaking to his wife about this, and she was like, she was telling me something about, I need, like, no matter what happens, you can't have space. Like, they got a house or whatever kind of thing, there's another room in there. And I was telling her, like, sometimes if you both have an argument and stuff like that, you got a spare room, so like either he can go sleep in there or you can sleep in there just to cool off. She's like, no, like, there's no space between us. Like, even if he's mad, he stayed, like, he has to be here with me. And I was like, yeah, but think about it, yeah. You're saying that, you don't want to give the person space or whatever. Let's say my cousin wants to do something that has no interest to you. You love him with all your heart and everything, but you have no interest in it. Let's say, for example, he wants to go and start doing painting, and for the life of you, you just don't care about painting at all. The only painting you care about is painting the walls of your house. That's it. But he wants to do all arts and crafts, and you don't care. Are you gonna now tell him, like, yo, like, don't do it? Let him do his thing, innit? Just leave him to mind his own business, whatever. And I think sometimes as well, when a man, like, not even a man, but I'm saying a man because I'm a guy, but when a man feels like he wants to do something that he knows his girl's not really going to be, not even supportive, but he knows she just doesn't care about that kind of stuff. He might go out of his way to do it. And then, like you said, she might be hating. She's like, oh, why are you doing all that stuff? I don't get it, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you just have to say, you know what? I don't really care what you think about this right now, because I know you don't care about it, so I'm going to do it anyway. And then just see where it goes from there. But honesty it's not meant to be a tricky one. I think it's definitely developed. Some people they would prefer honesty right from the get-go. But some people it takes some while to break into. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because, like, you don't know whether you want that, because you might feel like if you tell this person something, they're going to blow up. And you're like, I really do like this person, but I don't want them to blow up and just cut off. Yeah, so I want to ease them into it as well, kind of thing, which obviously is still a bit of a tricky boundary to go through. But
right, I think we're gonna have to record a part 2 because the timing is going off. But this is something I keep saying this, but your opinions are.
You think my opinions are wild?
Not wild. Just different to mine. But thank you for coming on.
All right. I
hope you had a good time.
No problem.
And thank you guys for listening. We'll do a part 2. When are you gonna be down next? We'll figure it out after.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you liked it, share, follow, and yeah. Bye.